The small town of Maple Creek was silent that morning, except for the distant crow of a rooster. John Miller, a 28-year-old farmer, stared at his ruined crops, the weight of debt crushing his shoulders. His son, Tommy, who had special needs, sat beside him quietly, unaware of the storm looming over their family. John had tried everything: loans, late-night work, selling old equipment, but nothing seemed enough. This year, the rains had been relentless, and the crops that had survived were barely enough to feed them. His father's old tractor had broken down last week, and there was no money to fix it. The farm, passed down through generations, was on the brink of collapse. Suddenly, a black SUV rolled down the dusty road. Out stepped a man John never imagined he would see in Maple Creek: Donald Trump. The former president, looking calm yet determined, approached John with a smile that seemed both strange and reassuring. "I heard about your troubles," he said. "Maybe I can help." John blinked, unsure if this was real or a dream. I don't understand," he stammered. Trump leaned closer, his voice gentle but firm. "Sometimes, the people who build this country the hardest are the ones nobody notices. But I haven't forgotten." John's mind raced. Why here? Why now? Trump extended his hand, then pulled out a check large enough to cover the tractor, the debts, and enough seeds to replant the field. "This isn't charity," Trump said. "It's recognition for the work you do, day in and day out. You and people like you are the backbone of this country." Tears blurred John's vision as he looked at his son. Tommy reached out, touching the check, giggling. For the first time in months, John felt hope. It was a simple moment, yet profound. Weeks passed, and the farm came back to life. Crops grew taller, green, and healthy. Neighbors whispered about the mysterious visit from Trump, wondering why someone so powerful had taken an interest in a small farm in Maple Creek. John shared little, only letting his family know the truth. Then came the letters. Farmers, factory workers, teachers, they had heard the story online. Hundreds of messages flooded in, many with photographs, many with tears, all expressing gratitude for the spotlight John's story had inadvertently created. The small act of kindness had become a movement. Weeks after Trump's visit, Maple Creek seemed transformed. John Miller worked tirelessly in his fields, the seeds he received growing into vibrant, strong crops. Tommy laughed more often now, watching his father regain hope. Yet, John knew that hope alone couldn't solve all their problems. He needed a plan to sustain this miracle. Trump's visit had not been publicized. Only a few neighbors knew, and even they were unsure how to react. John wanted to keep it private, fearing attention or exploitation. But word traveled. Social media posts, local news whispers, even a viral video clip reached thousands. Messages of encouragement flooded John's inbox. One morning, as John repaired a fence, a car approached. It was Trump again. This time, no check, no speeches, just a simple visit. "I wanted to see how things are going," Trump said, walking beside John. "Your dedication matters." John swallowed hard. I can't believe you're here again," he said. Trump smiled. "Some moments matter more than politics, John. Seeing you and Tommy thriving, that matters." Over the next few weeks, Trump coordinated local volunteers to help repair old barns, restore irrigation systems, and bring in fresh equipment. Maple Creek became a hub of collaboration. Families worked side by side, strangers becoming friends, all inspired by a single act of kindness. John realized something crucial. It wasn't about money or fame. It was about recognition, community, and dignity. Tommy, riding on the restored tractor, waved at neighbors, giggling, unaware of the national attention their farm had gained. Autumn arrived in Maple Creek, painting the fields in hues of gold and amber. John Miller walked through his flourishing crops, each plant a testament to months of labor, hope, and unexpected kindness. Tommy ran beside him, laughing freely, his wheelchair now customized with a small motor, a gift from volunteers organized by Trump. Yet, not everything was smooth. A sudden storm hit one night, and parts of the fields flooded. John stood at the edge, heart pounding, watching the water swallow his hard-earned crops. For a moment, despair clawed back. But then he remembered Trump's words. Your dedication matters. The next morning, Trump arrived again, walking into the muddy fields without a word. He inspected the damage carefully, listening as John described the losses. We can rebuild this, Trump said. Together, we'll make sure no one's hard work goes to waste. Word of the storm's devastation reached the national media. People were inspired by how Trump continued to help a small-town farmer with humility and genuine care. Volunteers from neighboring towns poured in, bringing sandbags, pumps, and manpower. Maple Creek, once isolated and struggling, had become a symbol of hope and collaboration. One evening, John sat on the porch with Tommy, looking at the horizon ablaze with sunset colors. Trump joined them, sitting silently for a moment before speaking. John, I want you to know something. What you're doing here, raising your son, tending your farm, it's bigger than politics. It's the heartbeat of America. People should see this. John swallowed, tears stinging his eyes. I don't know what to say. You've done more than anyone could imagine. Trump smiled softly. Sometimes, the right words or actions at the right time are all it takes to change a life or a town. That night, John realized the depth of what had occurred. It wasn't just about money or equipment. It was about dignity, recognition, and the ripple effect of genuine compassion. Tommy fell asleep in his bed, clutching a small tractor toy, dreaming of fields full of golden crops and heroes who appear when least expected. Winter had settled over Maple Creek, blanketing the fields in white snow. John Miller stood outside his farmhouse, breathing in the crisp air. His farm, once on the brink of collapse, now flourished thanks to months of hard work, community support, and the unexpected help of Donald Trump. Trump's final visit had been quiet but meaningful. He brought no cameras, no media entourage, just himself, walking through the fields, talking with John and Tommy, listening to their stories, and offering encouragement. Remember, he said, it's not the headlines that define us, but the lives we touch along the way. The story of Maple Creek went viral. News outlets across the country shared John's journey, highlighting the power of small acts of kindness. People sent photos of their own families, farms, and acts of compassion inspired by John and Trump's story. John realized that the true gift was not the money or equipment. It was hope restored, dignity recognized, and the knowledge that someone in power had truly seen and cared about ordinary people. Tommy, bundled in a warm coat, laughed as he helped his father feed the animals, unaware that his life had become an inspiration to thousands. As the sun set behind the snowy hills, Trump stood with John one last time. Keep going, he said. Your work, your heart, your dedication, it all matters. People like you remind us what America truly is. John shook Trump's hand, tears in his eyes. Thank you. Not just for the help, but for believing in us. Trump smiled. Sometimes all it takes is a single act of recognition to create ripples that last a lifetime. And with that, Trump drove away, leaving Maple Creek transformed, not by fame or politics, but by compassion, hope, and human kindness. John watched the SUV disappear down the snowy road, knowing that the lessons of this winter, the value of hard work, family, and unexpected generosity, would stay with him and Tommy forever.